go. Again, power of the replays. That's to speed things up a little bit, makes it a little bit nicer and easier. As we get started here in game number 1. In the top left-hand side, we see our red Zerg player is going to be soO. Taking on the blue Protoss in the bottom right, herO, and we're back on Silver Wall. I actually kind of liked this map before. It was kind of an interesting one. So we saw it with soO versus Skillus, and Skillus was like mega greedy into the timing that just kind of knocked soO outright. Like, he just ended up going like mass zealot store. Well, I actually think soO was going to be okay in that game. Yeah, I'm just remembering it exactly now. It's like, I actually thought that soO would have been okay in that game if he just built Banelings. He wasn't necessarily overly greedy himself. Yeah, it's another definitely larger map, some interesting kind of pathways to move through. Definitely a good one to experiment on a little bit. It's a little bit unique, it's a little bit different to the norm. I kind of like it. First impressions on this map. I mean, it's definitely a bit weird, it's definitely a bit out there, but yeah, I honestly feel like first impressions, it's pretty reasonable. I think it's pretty fun. Excited to see some more of it then as we get underway with soO and herO, some PvZ action. So yeah, these two players obviously at this point are in very different places in this group. We're talking about soO, who is, well, at the bottom and just trying to fight for maybe 4th place to get some extra prize money. We're talking about herO, who is looking to make a run to get 1st place, if he can do well against Clem as well. And yeah, that's kind of what we're looking like right now today. And it's been a little bit more convincing from Clem so far. He's gone 2 zeros. herO's had a bunch of 2 1s up until now, so yeah, I mean, win this and it still comes down to just a straight up showdown between Clem and herO, right, for the final series of the day. So that's where we stand, that's how things are looking. A couple shoutouts then to get us back on track and catch us back up, as I believe Black Frost came in with the 5 months on the Prime. Taco Stuff came in with a 71-month resub, huge one, thank you so much. Speed Racer 1914, 31-month resub, thank you so much. And we also had, I think I didn't mention Falcon Tokaju gifted a sub out to Divinasia TV as well. Thank you so much for that. Sorry, I must have missed that during a game or so, because I do remember seeing it, but I do not remember reading it out. So thank you so very much. Appreciate the support, guys. Thank you for being awesome, as always. As this map from the same maker as Golden Wall, it's very different to Golden Wall, though, right? You know, Golden Wall really split the map into 2 very different halves. This is just a map with a big old wall in the middle. So, yeah, plays doesn't really have that much similarity to Golden Wall, which I'm kind of sad about because I loved Golden Wall. And when I saw Silver Wall, I was like, oh, maybe it'll be something similar, like another really cool idea, but... And this isn't to be a criticism on the map, it was just like my expectation, right, was it would have a lot of similar tendencies to Golden Wall, but it doesn't. You know, the map doesn't get opened up by different patches, and yeah, there's not like 2 distinct halves of the map that you can kind of play different styles on and stuff. So yeah, in that regard, it was a little sad to see. I don't want to say disappointing, just I shouldn't have got my expectations up in the first place, right? I mean, Golden Wall I think is one of the best maps also that we've had in the last few years on the ladder. So this is going to be a gateway coming down from herO. We wall off at the front. Oracle is chrono boosting out. A Void Ray pushing up to the top left-hand side. Just going to be seeing this Oracle pop in a few moments' time. So Stargate going to pop that. We do have a Nexus building onto the 3rd base, and the Void Ray will be going after an Overlord here. So Overlord, bye-bye. Oh, stopped a moment too soon, but gets it anyway. So Overlord is indeed going to fall at the end here. And that is the Void Ray cleaning up. So kind of interesting to see a Void Ray. A little different than usual. This map does feel big, right? I mean, it definitely seems pretty sizable to just even push across initially. So definitely kind of, to me, lends itself towards a lot more of those kind of macro games. We have 1 Oracle up and a 2nd in production at the moment. So building towards that for now is, wow, we get 5 drones off of Oracle number 1. What a position it found there. What a great way, and definitely wasn't expecting. I thought it was done after the first 1 or 2, and it just kept going. That's kind of impressive, actually. Just going to be seeing our Adept is going to be picked off there, so Ling's finding a little bit of value on the counter, going to force the Oracle to consider using its energy here as well. Trying to utilize that resource at least a little bit, as our 2 Adepts will shade on forward. Now just going to go and get some extra probes underway. So again, a bit more of that production pouring on out. And the Oracle's going to head up to the top side. Try to see just what else is going on. We get rid of a couple of these Cryptiumus. He's trying to get a wrap around, trying to go after those Adepts. 2 of them going down, and the Oracles will continue over to the left. It's going to be seen our Blink, our +1. All of this continuing up at the moment. Observer continuing out. And just going to be seeing the Lair is about to finish. So Lair finishing up, a few extra drones on the way in. And, yeah. So far, so good. Our Lings get a surround. They're going to take down that Pylon. Pylon will get picked off pretty much immediately. So Pylon drops, and Oracle's in the Void. Gonna get across there as well. Just keep an eye out on those sneaky little Lings. Lings want to just kind of nibble away at the gateway. Just gonna have our Void Ray picking away at a few Lings there. At this point, I mean, you can just see that both players are kind of allowed to do as they wish, right? I mean, there's a bit of Oracle harass, a bit of Ling harass, but nothing that creates a real danger to the opponent. Beyond maybe losing a couple of workers. So, yeah, a map which is really, so far, allowing these two to just do as they want to. There's not really much question about it. And, yeah, I guess as we step into that, we see a Spire from soO, so that'll be fun. I mean, a big map, mutas on a big map can be very nice. So, it's definitely a cool option as we force a lot of force fields here with the Lings. And the sentries to utilize that straight away. The sooner you force that, the better it typically turns out to be for you, right? To stop that sentry energy building up. Stop them from having that energy a bit later on for some of the more aggressive pushes they might try and get into. As that Blink is finishing, Charge is finishing. Sorry, Blink is finishing. Colossus is finishing. I don't know why I said Charge. Obviously, Blink can't finish at the same time as Charge unless you go for the super cool double Twilight build, right, guys? Yeah, that's not one we're seeing. It was Blink and just a Colossus, and obviously Colossi are kind of unique in the matchup as well, but they can work very well against Ling heavy styles, and this is Ling heavy with mutas, and yeah, I actually don't mind it too much, especially if herO hits an attack right now. This feels almost devastating for soO, who doesn't really have, I feel like, a good defense against this at all. The mutas have just come out, they've not really done much yet. The Lings are going to get absolutely destroyed by the Colossus. And I feel like herO is identifying a brilliant timing to attack, and it definitely is his choice of timing to attack more than anything else. I think that is working just so well. As our Lings and our mutas head around to the south side. Just going to be seeing the Oracles coming around a little bit. Just going to be seeing the mutas continuing through. And Lings are just going to go for a bit of a jump over to the bottom side as well. This meter is still just taking a little bit of extra damage then, so a little bit more being done. He comes once again, herO just pushing across. I mean, just feels as though, again, soO has so much money to spend. I'm not sure if 1.6k minerals of Lings would be the solution here, but all day, soO has had just serious issues spending his money. It definitely feels like something, I don't know if he's just a bit out of practice right now, but it just seems like something he is seriously had problems with, right? Like, he's just not being hit in the macro as well as we know soO can. But honestly, I just don't... I'm not too hyped for this fight because I kind of feel as though herO just has this one in the bag. This looks like an army that's not beatable unless somehow the mutas can overwhelm. I feel like that would be very unlikely because the Lings aren't going to last long enough to do what they need to do, right? And yeah, mutas are going to try and get through some of the Stalkers here. It's just not going to be enough. And this one is going to go herO's way for game number 1 at the very least. So game 1 going to go the way of herO. GG's. And we'll get ourselves readied up for a game number 2. And we'll start it off, get it going. In the top side, it is going to be our red Zerg player. This is soO. Bottom right, our blue Protoss player is going to be herO. Funny, it's called Armistice when it's a rush map. The definition is an agreement made by opposing sides in a war to stop fighting for a certain time, a truce. Well, maybe it's because you need an armistice to actually play the game because it's such a good rush map, right? Maybe it's suggesting to the players they should just agree to be nice to each other, right? You know? You guys want to go on a wander around Armistice and see some of the decorations? Yeah, it's pretty actually. It's not a color scheme I would have immediately leapt towards calling pretty, but it's very well done in the game. Like these little mystical stones, a bunch of some of this shrubbery. Oh, a little fountain over here. It's kind of cool. Oh, we got a pylon in the water. I always wonder these pylons that they use as like decoration a lot of the time. It's like they're always oddly shaped, right? Like the pylon crystals, like just not the right shape. Like, you know, you look at herO's base, and this pylon's just perfect. Like, oh, slap bang, looks good. Everything is like very like, it's just the right shape and it's the right size. Like, what's this? Is it because it's just shrunk down? Actually, it's not being held up anymore. Maybe it isn't actually that weird because it's just meant to be higher up and it's just shrunk down or like crashed down, I guess. Yeah, maybe that's it. And maybe that would explain it. Maybe I've just answered my own questions. It looks like it's upside down. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's maybe it as well, right? Oh, you guys, we're so smart, guys. We can figure out anything together. You guys ever realize that? Oh, here's one of the fountains in action because we actually have vision of it. That's a very cool fountain, isn't it? How come the... Okay, here we go. Here's a good question. How come the pylons are all crashed and shrunk and doomed, but the fountains are just pristine and working, huh? Can we get some continuity? Is this a war zone that's destroyed, or is this like a nice little park? You know? Look, we gotta criticize the map decoration in some way, guys, because otherwise it's just all really good, you know? It's a wish.com pylon. It's like, when Mum says we have pylons at home, these are the pylons at home. It's like, Mum, we're gonna be supply blocked. We need some pylons. Mum's like, we got pylons at home, Jimmy. Shut up. Oh, God. That's it, guys. We figured it out. Yeah. That's why you never let your mum do your pylon shopping. You'll never get on supply blocked with that crap. What is that? That's like a little dinky pylon, that. Is it upside down? I'm trying to figure it out. It's upside down, it's missing half, I don't even know. I'm sure there's some lore that explains it or something. We just don't know what it is. Devs is going to come over here and shade in a few drones getting chipped away at, so Adepts having a good old time. As you see, the Queen's coming over and pushing the Adepts back away. The Adepts going to actually go after a couple of Zerglings here, so a little bit of damage being dealt initially. Just going to be seeing the Oracle showing up, a couple drones going down straight away. And the two Adepts just going to go and run back over this side. 3 drones getting picked, and it's going to be 4 at least. This Adept... Oh, well, it's not going to be 4 because soO is actually able to micro the drone into a score. Okay, good saves from soO. Job well done. And keeps that at only 3 drone lost. Which is 3 drones and 8 lings against 2 Adepts. Obviously, the Oracle helped, but it's not the best trade. But, I mean, it's manageable at least. Should at least be able to stay somewhat on track from here. Wow, that's not good. You know what they say, once you lose 1 queen, you usually lose 2 queens. Yeah. And now we don't have any anti-air in the base. Okay. Is this a game that's just going to end because soO just didn't defend the early game? It feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? soO's just not played his best today, guys. I think it's really fair to say. It's kind of crazy, too, because... I mean, when he was playing against Skillers, I really believed if he could have won that series 2-0, he could have actually had a chance of getting through the group. Obviously, the way that it went, he actually probably would have done as well, right? I think if you... Yeah, I guess Skillers took some maps in this series against herO. Yeah, hard to say, I guess, but... Yeah, it just feels like it's just been a bit of a train wreck of a day from soO. He's had some cooler games, just... None of it's ever really been enough, and I guess a tough group as well. This is obviously looking very much, I think, already confirmed that Skillers goes through this group into the playoffs, right? And obviously this is looking as though it's going to come down to a Clem herO battle for first. This is just, I mean, it's a massacre, guys. 15 drones at 5 minutes. We've lost a handful of Adepts, which are really not that big of a deal. Maybe if the Lings can find some counterattack damage, sure, but what's the likelihood of that realistically? I want to say fairly low. It's definitely not in the higher scale of things, although they get the Adepts now surrounding the Stalker. These few Lings are going further than I thought they would. Oracle gets across here. That will be the defense at the end. That is going to hold this off. Yo, RX Grim, thank you so much for the 39-month resub on the Prime, mate. Much appreciated. Thanks so much for pressing the Prime button today. I honestly feel like, I mean, Triple Oracle's going to keep on trying to find damage. The only good news for soO is that these Oracles are at least beaten up a little bit, right? At least they don't have full HP across all of them. That's like the good news as the Lair comes online soon. LA upgrade. Is he going to try and play Spire again? I don't even know if I like the idea of him trying to play Spire or something, right? Like, I just don't see it being good enough as the Temple Archives drops into the main base of herO. We've got some Lings out on the front as well, trying to nibble through the third. Not quite doing well enough as our Oracles will activate. This hatchery is going to take some shots and start to go down. Our Oracles is going to be coming back through. More drones. I mean, yeah. What are we going to do, soO? We've got +1 melee. But yeah, the only thing we can build right now is Lings. And there's about to be Archons. Like, that might have been okay if it was like it's only Stalkers, but like there's about to be Archons. So is it really okay? No, it's not okay. This is not looking pretty at all, guys. Infestation Pit dropping down. The hatchery's coming through. This Archon about to finish. We got a few Zealots chasing away some Lings as well. It's just pushing those. I mean, honestly, I've got nothing really exciting to say. Infestation Pit and Hydra Den is kind of cool if we can get there. Are we going to try and go Lurkers, do you guys think? Ling Hydra into Lurk with the Infestation Pit being so quick, or do we just get a high for some Vipers or something? There's a Bane nest, so maybe just Lingbane Hydra, and then some supporting Vipers. Yeah, the problem is you still have only Lings to deal with this attack, though. Chance of success for soO? I'm going to say about 2%. Archon gets saved, extra Zealots warp in. Lings are not killing a single thing here. This one is done and dusted. hero's going to take it 2-0. Yeah, so, sorry, guy. No way to really make this one exciting, right? Guys fighting, you know, full-on Protoss army with Lings. And not even a lot of Lings, right? Like, if there's, like, a ton of Lings, like, an overwhelming amount of Lings, then yeah, you know, let's sign me up, you know, let's talk about it. But